Welcome to video 2 for our lecture video series for Wednesday, March 15th, where we're going to discuss the concept of sp mixing and how that will affect our molecular orbital diagrams that we draw for particular homonuclear diatomic molecules. So I have started by making a statement here, which is, in atoms with 3 or fewer electrons in their p orbitals, the pi molecular orbitals are more stable than the sigma p molecular orbital. So let's kind of think about atoms with 3 or fewer electrons in the p orbitals. So these are going to be things like Li2, C2, N2, Be2, etc. Although we would not expect for this to be stable, and we can talk about why. Gotta stop doing that. So let's talk about why it is that our pi bonding orbitals are more stable than the sigma bonding orbitals made from combinations of our p orbitals. So the reason for this is a phenomenon called sp mixing. So define sp mixing. So when atoms in a molecule, or when the atoms that are coming together have 3 or fewer electrons in their p orbitals, then the difference in energy between the sigma s and sigma p molecular orbital is pretty small. Okay, well, why do we care about that? So the energy difference between our two different sigma type orbitals is small. What happens as a result is the sigma s and the sigma p combine because the energy difference between them is small enough, like they're almost comparable-ish in energy, that they're able to interact with one another. These orbitals can interact with one another. And the interaction is not one that's strong enough to create whole new linear combinations and new molecular orbitals. But the result of this combination further stabilizes the sigma s while destabilizing the sigma p. This is also true for our sigma s star and our sigma p star. So let's look at what happens here. All right, so here we have kind of our regular or expected MO diagram on the left, and on the right is an MO diagram that shows the result of sp mixing. So because the difference in energy between our sigma S and sigma P is smaller for some atoms, then what happens is this mixing or interaction results in a swapping in the kind of energetic structure of our diagram. So we see here that the sigma S star and the sigma S have both been stabilized, or the energy is lowered. And we've also seen up here that the sigma P and sigma P star have been destabilized, meaning their energy is increased. In fact, the energy of the sigma P is increased so much that we now see an inversion of the stability between our sigma P and our pi P. So we now see that our pi molecular orbitals are more stable than our sigma molecular orbitals, sigma P, which means that we are going to fill our pi MOs first. So in our next video, we are going to look at molecules where this structure over here on the right is the one that will be used for drawing our molecular orbital diagrams, whereas the structure on the left here, this regular MO diagram, so to speak, this is only true for elements that have sufficient enough differences in energy between their sigma S and sigma P, meaning this is only true, or the only best model, for things like oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So we will look at an example of how to use this SP mixing diagram coming up in lecture video 3. I think we're going to look at nitrogen as a result of SP mixing and see if we can't get a bond order and a statement about para or diamagnetism for nitrogen. And then from there, we will move into our introduction into chemical reactions.